What is going on, guys? Kiamimaru 007 here today with the final installment of Dragon Ball Legends review. It's been a journey. I can only imagine sitting here in my editing chair days before this video is being released. But if you haven't watched the first or the second video, links will be in the description, right? And basically, we're talking about all things Dragon Ball Legends. And in this final installment, we're going from guilds all the way to summonings, right? And all those extra little pieces at the end, just small little things. And this is the special one, so it's going to be the longest one so far. And I hope you guys enjoy. So I'm going to let recording Kiamimaru take care of things. And now we move on to possibly something that everybody has input on in the game, and that is guild. And let me just say right now, guild is a waste of space on the screen of the menu. It really is. The way guild works, in my impression of it, is the guild that plays more is the guild that is winning, right? I don't even know how I'm dominating GGGG, right? I'm in a guild alone, right? It's just me in the guild. I just want to see what it looked like so that I'm not ignorant about it. And yeah, as you can see, it's just Kiamimaru here. And it just seems like the guild missions, the guild missions and all those things are just placement things. I mean, playing things like all members use 5,000 energy, get plus 400,000 bonus points to the guild thing, and I'm just like, okay, but it's just me. I'm not going to spend 5,000 energy for one, so that would just reward the guild that plays the game the most. None of my friends who do play this game, and quite frankly, I'm not going to recommend playing this game to any other friends, because when I recommend games to friends, I'm going to be like, oh, we can do this together, like I did with Marvel's Contest of Champions. Most of the people in my alliance, right, are friends from university, and we suggested playing this game, right, because we can be in an alliance together, we can play together. And in Dragon Ball Legends, you can't really, maybe there's friend battles, but we can't play together versus other things besides co-op, and that's just one other person, so I have one friend that plays Dragon Ball Legends, and that seems to be enough. So yeah, guild, the way it works is really a problem. And now I have to introduce a concept called guild wars, right? And this is obviously stemming from my past in Marvel's Contest of Champions. There is alliance war in that game. For all the viewers who watched for Marvel's Contest of Champions and are watching this video, just shout out to you guys. Alliance war in that game might not be the best, but we can make it great in Dragon Ball Legends. So guild wars, what I'm basically suggesting is, right, an open battlefield where you place defending characters, right, and then in the next phase you attack the opponent guilds or rival guilds, and you attack their defenders. So you can have like 12 hours of placement, 12 hours of attack, or 24 hours of placement, 24 hours of attack, that sort of thing. And don't make it anything complicated like in Contest of Champions. You have different energies for all the different things you do in the game. Don't do that here, Dragon Ball Legends. That's not their brightest idea ever, right? So make it just normal energy, because the way you decide guild wars would not have to do with time, right? So don't worry about the energy, just have it be normal energy, right? And now let's talk about how you win, right? So you basically win by completion. That's the first way to decide the winner, is the completion. If my guild has beaten all the other alliance, basically beaten the other guild's boss, then you have completed the war, and you win, unless the other guild has also killed the defending boss, right? Then you both have completed, and then you can move on to exploration. So basically set up your map in a way that you have the main guild boss, right, the strongest defending champion or character in the guild. You have him up at the top, and then people have to go through certain paths to get to the guild boss, much like AW in Marvel's Contest of Champions, right? And then exploration is basically the guild who has gone through the most paths leading up to the boss, has completed the most paths, right, that would win. And if they both have the same exploration, right, you have defender kills, right. And now we're gonna go into the sector of should there be revives, shouldn't there be revives, and I'm gonna say no revives. I don't think there should be revives, but again, that's up to you as Bandai. If you decide to employ this guild war system, then that's up to you if you want revives or not. But then the next thing after exploration would be defender kills, right? If my guild killed more of their people, then their guild defense killed more of our people, right, then you win by whoever got the most defender kills. And if they're the same, right, then defender diversity. And what I'm saying is basically there should be 1 point for element type, 1 point for what saga they're from, sagas from the movie, the Resurrection F, right, maybe 1 point for the tags that they bring, for each tag, and then no reoccurring tag. So if there's one Vegeta family member in the defense, right, that's 1 point. But if there are 12 of them, it's still just 1 point for the tag, right? So there should be no repeating tags or anything like that. That's how defender diversity essentially would be the final thing to deciding who wins. And if you can't decide after that, then that's up to you. I can't think past that. Then we have now how to set it up. Now you could have wars essentially where it's 3 defenders, right, and 3 attackers. And what I mean by that is that you have 3 of your characters you place into defense, right, and 3 of your characters that you use offensively, normal teams. You could have 1 defender, 1 attacker, right, or 3 defenders, 1 attacker. And when I say one attacker, I don't mean just one. It would be like co-op. We have the 1 character and then you have boost characters, just to boost basically boost the character's abilities, right? So like a squad cheering them on, the Cell games, everybody is cheering Goku on, everybody's cheering Gohan on, same kind of energy, right? And then we have high power ups for defenders and defender attributes. So you know how you go through a rising battle, right? The top champion has an insane health pool, right? You can't put any negative attributes on them, so attribute downgrades on them, that sort of thing. So you could have that on the defending the defending characters. So it's like one character can be immune to the strong bleed, the other characters can be immune to strong poison, immune to attribute downgrades such as attack or defensive attribute downgrades, those sort of things that you can sprinkle all over the battlefield, right? So that and also beneficial things like health restoration. If you put a few Zamasu on increased health restoration, that's going to be great. It's good for the defenders, so it will just mean that the attacker needs extremely high health or health restoration attribute downgrades sort of thing. But yeah, that's about it. And then of course, when it comes to such a complex guild war system, we're of course going to need a chat system. And you're probably saying, oh, but Discord and line. Well, you don't know everybody face to face in Dragon Ball Legends, so a chat system would be there to give the Discord code, give the line IDs essentially. So we just need a small chat system, for the guilds. But that's about it for guilds. Nothing more I could really say on the topic. That's just my 2 cents on it. Currently it's just about which guild plays the game the most, and we can make it more competitive, we can make it fun. And if this sort of a system is given to given to the game, right, I'll tap myself on the back personally. Otherwise, that would be the thing that would make me want to recommend the game to my friends. That's the kind of thing that's like saying that, oh, let's not play Marvel's Contest of Champions, let's play Dragon Ball Legends. If people can only play one game, these very good games take a lot of space. Not everybody has a lot of space on their phones to be playing both, right? So that sort of thing. But let's move on. Missions, of course, I can't give any input to missions. I just hope that the way the missions work is that people who have just started the game get a lot of chrono crystals, because a fun thing about Dragon Ball Legends is that you can start the game at any point. You may not have as many characters as I do, right, but you start the game, you can be free to play like me, and you just get the newest characters. And more often than not, for example, now is not. The newest characters are generally the strongest characters in the game, right? So you can starting Dragon Ball Legends and getting yourself a good team isn't a problem. And if you have just started Dragon Ball Legends and would like to know how to make a team, you can check out my video on how to make a team in Dragon Ball Legends, right? I will link it in the description. And then we have what's now the characters. And characters, not really gonna say anything about characters. I've spoken about new characters came to the game, but characters and summonings are two different things. So in the characters tab, we have the soul boosting. Soul boosting is fine, no real problem with it, right? And then we have equipment. Now the equipment, as you can see, I have 247 equipment right now. Some of the 247 are very essential. There will be a saga from the movies team, right? And basically all of them could have one type of equipment. For example, how do I say this equipment? Yeah, if I had a yellow team and I want to give every yellow character this great equipment, not this one specifically, then I shouldn't have to be removing all the equipment just for space. Like I got a lot of equipment here that is way more than, 6, because that's the most amount of equipment you could possibly use, of one equipment you could possibly use. So let's increase that equipment storage space. If you want to make it a purchasable thing, like extra 100 equipment storage for 1000 rare medals, go ahead and do that. Just give us the ability to get more equipment. I know this has been updated in the past, but 270 is not enough, right? For every single equipment in the game, right, there should have 6 spots in the equipment storage. It's that simple, because you can use them on 6 people. Not every single storage. Some items or just some equipment items are specifically for one kind of character, right? Or Son and Green, which is up to you. And then I must talk about equipment awakening. And the way equipment awakening, I might be wrong about this, right? But the way equipment awakening should work is that if I have a piece of equipment, for example, I know for a fact there's a good one, right? The blast attack on slot 2 is plus 18.10%. That is an amazing equipment. And if I get the ability to awaken this equipment, it should not be able to become worse, right? So for example, this Vegeta equipment you see right here, it had plus 17% or plus 16% or something on strike in the first slot, and it went down to something weak like 13%. I mean, that's great, but that's not great for an awakened equipment. I went through things to get that equipment awakened, it's not something that everybody can just do willy-nilly on all their equipment. I mean, maybe you can, it's not that hard to get rush medals and stuff like that, but still, equipment awakening should only be able to make things better. So this was like 16% strike, and it got worse. Now what I think is that when you get any equipment first off in the game, right, it has a chance to be like between 8% to 20%, just as an example, in slot 1 for increased strike attack, right? Now let's say I get 12%. Now I shouldn't have to go through that same roulette of randomness, right, and end up with something worse, right? I should be only increasing from 12%. So if this was the equipment that was at 13%, right, and I equipment awaken it, it should be increased between a percentage of 8% and 12%. And let's say I get 8%, then I can get this up to 21% strike attack, and that would be great. That's exactly how equipment awakening should be. There shouldn't be any way for an equipment to get any worse than it is. And when you call something equipment awakening, it just, it's misleading to have it, have the ability to make your equipment worse. So it should only make your equipment better, right? Just, we go equipment awakening, right? I choose this, for example, select, and what would this do? It's plus 10 to 25% strike attack. And then you look at the actual equipment, right? Go onto it, and I don't know what it had to roll through. Okay, yeah, it was 8 to 20%. Now there may be an increase, like an increase in how much it could potentially be, but I don't want to go through the gauntlet again of having that equipment, drop down. Like currently this one is at 17.55%, right? And it goes through the gauntlet of the equipment awakening, and it can drop down to 15%. That shouldn't be possible. I think it should only be able to increase, right? So this should be increases the current attribute by 10% to 15% or 8% to 15% or whatever, something like that. That's just my 2 cents on the equipment awakening. Nothing else really to talk about with the characters really. Shop, of course, has nothing to do with me as a free-to-play player. I'm not going to comment on it. I'm sure you guys are doing an amazing job in that store. But summoning. So you see this right here, we have 99 Z power, right? And that's a great thing. Now I think that when you release new characters, right, and you have this 99 Z power, that's a great thing for summonings, right? It's a great thing for people who want to get the new characters. But at the same time, you know, kind of have like a few days, like, you know, 3 days or over the weekend, you know, 3 days of the weekend, you know, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, consecutive summons should guarantee a sparking. It doesn't have to be the headliner characters, as I would call the Super Kaioken Goku and Pikkon. It could be just a guaranteed featured or just guaranteed sparking in general, you know. Don't really want to be too greedy with it, but that's just how I feel with the new, when a new banner like the 999 Z power comes out, you should have a guaranteed sparking. And then you know, the step up banners are really great. You have the extreme or higher, the new character rates ×2, the win sparking assist ticket. Maybe make the you know, step 6 guaranteed sparking, and then step 7 has nothing on it, but you know, it's free. I'm not going to complain about a free consecutive summon, right? Thanks a lot for that. And that's about it when it comes to these step ups and these banners in the summonings. Maybe get us, when is Master Pack 4 coming out? Get us Master Pack 4. That's about it with summonings, you know. I just want that to, you know, sparking guaranteed essentially. Everything else is just, it's completely up to you. If you summon on a banner, you don't get a sparking character and it's not sparking guaranteed, that's, you know, that's bad luck. And then we move on to the final things to talk about, just some convenience things. We do have the customize here with Shallot. And I think that Shallot should be everybody's strongest champion. I mean, strongest character. Just mixing up Marvel's Constantly Champions and Dragon Ball Legends here. But everybody's strongest character should be their Shallot. Because everybody's Shallot may not be unique because there's not enough, you know, things to make everybody have a unique Shallot, but you know, your Shallot is yours, right? I use Shallot with Blaster Shell, and I use Shallot with Super Saiyan God, of course, right? Because that's the strongest he gets, and Blaster Shell for me is the strongest special move. I've spoken about my Shallot in the Shallot video where I told you why Blaster Shell was amazing. But we should also be able to, you know, change up his arts cards, right? I'm talking about his blasts, his special skill arts card, and his strike. So, you know, for instance, I want to give him Omega Shenron's special arts card, which bleeds, poisons, and paralyzes the opponent. You know, give us that ability. Some people want arts cards that can destroy the opponent's arts cards, you know, give them the ability to do that. And I think with that, the friendship bonus should be extremely high. So currently you can get special moves at like friendship level 2, friendship level 3. Make you know, the arts cards like Omega Shenron, that's possibly the best arts cards in the game, right? Inflict paralyze, deep strong bleed, strong poison. That is extremely powerful, right? So if you want to give that to Shallot, get him to friendship level 5 is what I'm saying, right? Whole lot of less fights, and there's no way to buy friendship levels, so that's not a pay to play thing. No pay to play player is going to be able to get it before anybody who is free to play, so that's cool. And including the green card, and the green cards, you know, like Shallot has a kind of a counter green card, but it has no blast shield, so give us the ability to have a green card with a blast shield, you know, like the Super Saiyan 4 Goku, the newest one that came out, is counter green card, has a blast shield on it. So, you know, give us those sort of things. Of course, you know, not every green card should be able to be taught. You know, not every strike card should be able to be taught. You know, how would Shallot be inflicting poison? You gotta ask yourself these questions. So I just gave Omega Shenron as an example. I'm not saying he should be it, but you know, destroying cards, that's something Shallot can learn from Goku, you know. But poisoning, you know, he's a Saiyan. Where's the poison glands? I don't know. But yeah, strong bleed as well. You know, Bardock can do it. Why can't he? just these small things when it comes to Charlotte. Otherwise, everything else is cool with Charlotte. Great character. I'm so happy you can put the Broly battle suit on him. Right, this is my Charlotte. Then we have character compare. These are just, side notes. So when you're looking at characters, you often the character list, just like, I want to look at this Goku, I have to tap on him, hold, then it loads, right? Then I have to wait for his strike and all those things to come up, and then I have to close it because I just need like 2 seconds to look at the strike attack. I'm like, okay, he has 141 strike attack. Then I have to go back and I'm like comparing him to this Goku, and I have to, sometimes we'll have to load again, and I'm like, okay, this is 173 strike attack. Let's just have a character compare. And I'm basically saying that, like, you should have this screen, and then there should be a character compare button on top here or something. Click the character compare, and then it takes you back to the characters, what's now screen here, and then you can click on what's now, this is Kefla. Yeah, click on Kale. Sorry, this is Kale. My bad, guys. My bad. That's Kale. Right, click on Kale, and then their abilities should be like, or this screen here should be like underneath each other. This, the Kale at the bottom and the Goku on top, kind of thing, because you're comparing with the Goku. And then same thing goes for equipment compare. This is just out of convenience, Same thing goes for equipment compare, where you have to tap on the equipments. I mean, surely this does load faster, but yeah. You're not always going to be comparing this equipment to the one right next to it. You could be comparing this equipment, and then you have to go all the way down. Okay, now how does that blast compare to this equipment? Just have us do something like that. Yeah, I'm sure you can figure it out. Just throwing that one out there. Otherwise, guys, if you agree with me on any of these points, right, you have any points that you want to raise that either bother you about Dragon Ball Legends, or you think that is really cool, and if they add it would make their game even better, right, then let me know in the comment section below. If you disagree with me, you don't like what I said, right, then let me know in the comments below as well, right. If you really hated my Guild Wars idea, for example, give me your idea, or just flat out tell me you don't like it. It's fine, I don't mind. I won't cry at night. Otherwise, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you agreed with me and you liked today's video, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button to join the community that has been here for just a small amount of time, much shorter than Dragon Ball Legends, right? Maybe 2 months or so. Just join the community, hit the notification bell so you can be notified as soon as all future videos come out. Not all videos are going to be me just talking about games, some of them will be me playing the games, that happens a lot, I do that a lot, so there's a lot of those videos to come out in the future. Otherwise, I hope everybody at Bandai, everybody that's in my audience, right, I hope you all enjoy the rest of your days. Peace.